All right, 1 2 1 2, man. I'm gonna tell you about Atwater USP, about how it was out of control. I mean, I've never in my life in the state or the feds been in a prison like Atwater USP. Listen to this video all the way to the end. Share this video and subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right? Share this video and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Let's go. All right, this one's about Atwater USP, man. Now, I might have mentioned a couple of things that I'm going to mention, but I'm going to put it all together because right now I just feel like riding. It's raining out, and I want to enjoy the rain with my subscribers today. All right? Now, when I got to Atwater, I came there from Oklahoma, the Holdover Transit Center. I love Oklahoma Transit Center because in the transit center, that's where they got, people from all the different jails. They meet up in a hub, something like what you see behind me over here. You know what I mean? They meet up in a hub, and you got people coming from USPs, FCIs, Lowe's, camps, and everything, and they put you all together so you get all the penitentiary gossip. So that's why my stories are so broad, because wherever I wasn't at, I ran across people that was there. So that's how, when you in Oklahoma, they ask you questions like, yo, was you there with anybody from Chicago? Who was there from Chicago? How was such and such? The same things y'all ask. You know what I mean? So imagine being in a big dormitory, with cells, and you got people coming up to you, and you can ask them about every and anybody, and they mention names that you never even heard of. But anyway, we leave from there, and it was 33 of us that got on the bus to Atwater. By the time I was there, when we get there, right, I got to give you this one. Gunshots, because this was for the rat bastards. You know what I mean? You already know how I feel about them. But now, this is for the rat bastards. You get to Atwater, right? And just like you get to any other jail, they got like the orientation where when you first come in, you got to see the doctor, you got to see the psych, then you see the SIS, that's a security investigation service, where they find out if it's safe for you to go to the jail on the compound or not. So when the SIS come by, right, from we was in Oklahoma, everybody's a tough guy in Oklahoma. Everybody's the toughest son of a gun in Oklahoma. Right? So you in Oklahoma and they talking about how they stabbed this person, did this. When they go to the next jail, they're gonna run this, they're gonna run that. They got, all these homeboys, they be getting all these visits, they get all these drugs, they do everything under the sun. They just the toughest little bastards, right? But then now, when we get there, the police will come by, the SIS will come by and say, if there's any reason you can't go on my compound, let me know. If you testified against anyone, let me know. If you thought about testifying against anyone, let me know. If you got a problem with any gang, any fraction, let me know. This is what they tell you when you get there. So in other words, they're telling you, if you're a rat bastard, let me know now and step out the line so I can put your punk ass in PC. So you youngins, Cash App is on the screen. I'm giving you game that's going to save your life, because if you still want to go to prison after this, I don't know what to tell you, But now, dudes been playing tough from Oklahoma. Now they get to Atwater USP, and it's showtime. You know what I mean? It's time to make a movie, All this gangsterism you just spoke about, it's time to make a movie. So they don't want to. The SIS, they real clever with it, to keep their shoe clean, so there don't be a lot of people in there. So like I said, they'll come and they'll yell it out. Hey, if any one of you rat bastards can't go on my compound, let me know now if you a coward and you testified against somebody. If you got a beef with another gang, if you dropped out of a gang, let me know now and we'll protect your punk ass. This is how the SIS do it. So who's gonna step up and say, yeah, I'm a coward, I'm a punk, I testified? You know what I mean? So the cowards is usually the ones that was there talking about all the work they put in the other jail or what they're going to put in over here. Because if you put in work, you don't need to talk about it because it's just like the streets. You know what I mean? The streets tell no lie, you know, and it has many tales. Now, so when they do that, the dudes is sitting there like, oh, man, you know, I got to go to the bathroom, you know. But there's a bathroom in the room we're in. You know what I mean? They'll be like, go ahead over there. I'll hold you down, homie. And they be like, nah, I think I got a doo-doo. You know what I mean? You got a doo-doo. As soon as they say they got a doo-doo, I know they a rat bastard. You know what I mean? I be like, oops, and I pull away from them like they got the plague. So now Atwater do some stuff like that. There was a dude there that was talking all this gangster stuff, and the dude came to the door and he tapped on the door. You know, the inmate tapped on the door for the SIS, and SIS put his ear to the door. And, you know, it's noisy in there because about 50, 60 of us in there. So dude tap on the door, tick, tick, tick. You know, SIS say, what's up? And he goes, SIS said, I can't hear you. He goes, I can't go on the compound. He said, what? He said, and SIS said, oh, man, you're one of those rat bastards? You telling me you can't go on the compound and you want to take up holding my shoe? Oh, man. So now he's looking, right? All embarrassed, and the SIS is looking them dead in the face and looking at everybody else and saying, yo, you know you got a rat in there with you. You know what I mean? This is how the SIS do it. Then the dude would say, no, that ain't what I said. I ain't say that. And, you know, I said I had to go to the bathroom. I got a doo-doo. SIS said, there's a bathroom over there. And then SIS said, you know, matter of fact, you come out. So they take him out, put him in a cell by himself. So now he think he's safe and he's going to the shoe. This is only Atwater did it like this. Anywhere else would have took him out, wouldn't have made a scene, and would have just slid him in PC, and you would never see him again unless you're a rat bastard and you wind up on another compound with him. So this ass put him in a cell by himself. They come by, they do all the paperwork, and then they bring all the bedrolls, and this dude thinking he going to PC, and SIS come and they take a mattress and they just throw it in the cell and say, here, nigga, take that. You know what I mean? And he's like, huh? And he's like, yeah, come on. You're going to one of these units with these other men. He's like, but I told you, you know. He said, oh, now you can't talk? He said, nah. SIS tell you straight up in Atwater, no blood, no foul. You know, like AM1. But it's no blood, no special housing unit. We don't special house rats in Atwater. You know what I mean? You got to go on the compound. You got to get stabbed up. You know what I mean? You got to leak some blood. And then we'll let you, you know, then we'll take it to the shoe. But there's too many people owing money and checking in on a compound. We don't have room to hold every rat bastard that come in this prison. This is what they tell you there, right? So now they put everybody out there. So now here go the dude, right? Here go the dude, the one that, you know, said, I can't go to the compound. You know, here he go. As soon as he go in the unit, you know, everybody in the unit, they look at your race, you know, your ethnicity, and they'll come to you, and they, like Spanish guy will go and they say, what are you, Paisan, Sereno? You know what I mean? And you'll be like, nah, I'm a Nathaniel, and then, you know, Atwater be like, they just beat them up, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? They just whoop them right there on the spot. You know what I mean? So if you say you're a Sereno or a Paisan, they be like, oh, okay, well, the Serenos is over here, homie, and the Paisans over here, and then your homies go find you a cell. Now, if you don't have no homie in the unit, you got to sleep in the day room. You know, they got that, like these little TV rooms, you know, that we go watch TVs in. So if you black, they lock you in the black TV room, and that's where you sleep. Could you imagine that? The police don't even find you a bed there. They even tell you stuff like this. Do you know anybody on the compound? Is anybody from your car on the compound? You know? And it'd be like, somebody told me that I got a homie over in 2B. Okay, well, when the doors open up, just move over to 2B. And they'd be like, okay, who do I tell? He said, you don't tell nobody here. As long as the count is clear at the end of the night and we got 1,500 inmates, we don't care where you sleep, who you sleep with, or whatever you want to do in this prison. Just don't touch the police. And that's how they do it in Atwater. So now we up in the joint, dude sleep in the day room, the next door, the doors open up, he go to breakfast, and, the black dudes ask him, he'd be like, yo, where's the Midwest car? Where's the Dirty South car sit at? And in the kitchen, you got tables. You know what I mean? So you got the Dirty South here, you got the GDs here, you got the New York here, the DC here, the Latin Kings here, and we all on what they call a black side. Then on the other side, then you got the ones that got the alliance, the white guys and the Hispanics, So you got the Serenos, the Paisans, and you know what I mean? The Border Brothers, Aryan Brotherhood, the Skinheads. All of them is on the left side of the prison when you go in. And then we over on the right side, the blacks and, what they call, Morenos, We on that side. So it's crazy because when they have a problem on the yard and it's getting ready to be a race riot, all the blacks on that side of the jail, that side of the kitchen, we come together and we ready to go to war with everybody on the other side of the kitchen because the white guys roll with the Serenos, Paisan, Border Brothers, and so on and so on. So now we up in the joint, right? So we go back to the unit and they find out that dude is hot in the kitchen. So as soon as they leave the kitchen and we go out in the yard, they stab the crap out this dude. I mean, they stabbed him so bad and they stomped him all on the head and kicked him in his face with steel-toe boots and busted him all up. And he's laying on the floor like, oh my God. He's taking his last breath and he's looking up at the moon. And he's praying it's not a full moon. Because, it's a full moon. That means that, the devil is calling you for your deeds, So, he finally made it to the shoe. But he had to get beat up, stomped, and kicked all in the head to go to the shoe because the SIS said, we ain't going to protect you here. But Atwater was so crazy. And the reason why I wanted to tell you about Atwater, because the way Atwater work is, you go there, right? And like how you got a fence around the yard or a fence around the baseball field. We'll go out there and we'll take toenail clippers and dental floss. We take toenail clippers just to clip a little pinch into, the wire, the aluminum joint that goes this way. The one that holds the fence up. Not the actual fence that you'll cut to go through it. They got a little thicker bar that goes this way, and that's what hold the fence up when you push it don't go down. That's aluminum. That's what we call a walkthrough. That's called a walkthrough because when you make a knife out of that, it don't ring in a metal detector because it's aluminum and you can walk through the metal detector. See the game I'm giving you? That's why the Cash App was just on the screen. I don't care if it's $1, $5, what it is. Show some love. I get plenty of phone calls. That's another thing. When y'all call me so y'all understand, I answer my phone. I'm riding. I'm riding right now. That's another thing. I answer my phone. Everybody that call me, 90% of them, when I answer this phone, right? The first thing they say to me when I answer this phone, the first thing they say is this really you? I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? You caught my number, right? He said, yo, but I've never met a YouTuber that actually put his number up there and take phone calls. Well, you never met a gangster YouTuber, obviously. Because this is what gangsters do. I make myself accessible. Like I said, I'm riding. Like I said, I'm riding right now. Just like, if I'm on the street, I remember when I was on the street and I had a beef with a dude and, and he was my man, but we fell out over a female because he was one of those but I love a dog niggas, Matter of fact, let me slide this but I love a dog nigga joint in there because I ain't give you a but I love a dog nigga in a minute. I got a dude on the street, right? We over at the Mecca, and, I come in and out when I want because I own the joint, So when certain people come in, that's when I go meet up and we do what we got to do. So now we up in the joint, and being that one of my workers is there all the time, was a new little big butt red bone moved in the neighborhood. Nice little young girl with firm right. She had the pear-shaped derriere, you know what I mean? And then she had the little, ripe Mongo-sized breasts, like a set of ripe mangoes sitting on her chest. You know what I mean? And like I said, the big grape nipples. You know, and she was a pretty caramel complexion. Was gorgeous. Didn't even have no kids because at the time we all in our early 20s and stuff. She might have been 19, 20, but we all up in the joint, right? My man meets her and he starts hollering at her, trying to holler at her, but, she lived with her aunt and uncles. They tell him, nah, you can't talk to him, don't talk to him, this and that. You know what I mean? Talking about my man. But my man used to try his shot all the time. So then now, one of the little girls that's like my sister, she's always out there. So she sees and she knows I like them, caramel like that. I didn't like them too red because, I'm gonna keep it 100. And you red bone females, that's watching this get mad all you want, but I know my homies would tell you, But that's how it was back in the days. Because right now I'm not really out there like I used to be, so I don't know the different quality and moisture of the, of the punani. You know what I mean? But when I was on the street, the red bones couldn't take it. You bang them out, bang, 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 bang. For about 20 minutes, they come real good and then they dry up. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about, fellas. The red bones used to dry up. Then before you know it was like, it was just skin on skin, But, the darker girls, as they say, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Hold up. This is for the rat bastards and trolls that look for something to criticize about and say, oh, he's getting perverted. No, I'm not getting perverted. I'm just speaking facts. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give you 3 seconds to tap out. All right, so let's ride. You know what I mean? All right, so let's ride. So now we sitting there. So I didn't really like the red bones, because they dried up too easy. I like them darker because the juice was sweeter. You know what I mean? It stayed wet. Man. Not a bowl cat. So I say sweet, man, I mean for bowl on me. I'm talking about for bang it all down. Sure that means a coxman. Y'all know what a coxman is? Put it in the comment if you know what a coxman is. Anyway, so we sitting there, and my little sister sees a little cutie. She know I like. I'm speeding this up so I can get back to my Atwater story. But I just feel like riding because it's the rain. It's raining out right now. So that's how I'm riding off the road. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get back on road, but I'm going to get there. So now, Shorty picks her up for me, and I come there and she say, hey, brother. That's what she called me. Hey, because let everybody know that, that's my sister. She said, hey, brother, I got a nice one for you. And the little shorty standing there, and I'm looking at it with those little tight-ass Edwin jeans. You remember the Edwins and Big John jeans with the 5411s and the little tube top? And they used to put the little powder on the chest, and when they sweat, it looked like glitter. You know what I mean? But she's sitting there with these little mongols on her chest, and I'm looking at it, my mouth is watering. Like, yes, you trolls can say it now. My mouth is watering like a pervert. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to tear that up. So now I get with her, and, Shorty come over, and I tell Shorty straight up, look, I like to get head and, and then bang out. She said, oh, well, I don't give head. I said, all right, we'll get out of here. You know what I mean? Because if you're not going down, I don't need to be with you. You know what I mean? So I pushed it to the side. But Shorty used to always come. Every time I come, she run up on me wanting to hang out. So I take her to a hotel, you know what I mean? She gave me a little head. It was wax. I knew I had to train her if I wanted to keep her. The punani was good. It stayed moist. You know what I mean? So me and her was all right. So now me and her doing our thing. Then my man gets mad because me and Shorty dealing, but Shorty never gave him no play. You understand what I'm saying? So now he stopped talking to me and stopped coming around the store. So I'm thinking that he got an issue with me, So he calls me one night, and he says, yo, let's go to the sports bar. I said, all right, where you at? Because I ain't talked to him in 2 months, behind him being, one of these weak dudes. So he said, nah, I'm over here on such and such block. All right, so I pull up on the block. I don't see him because right now I'm thinking he want war. So I don't duck nothing. You know what I mean? I say all that to say, 'cause like I said, I'm riding. Ride with me. I say that to say because remember we was talking about if y'all might have slipped because I ride. You know what I mean? Because we was talking about how I answer my phone. I always answer my phone. Just like I always, I always go towards rep. Let's put it that way. So, I go meet dude over there. And when I go meet dude got like 3, 4 dudes with him. I'm by myself, but I got my 9mm, my Smith & Wesson with me. So, I get out the car and I see, the 3 of the dudes sitting there. So, the first thing I do when I get out is, I just, I just, I just hit the three that's with him, one in each leg. You know what I mean? And laid him down. Now it's just me and him standing. I said, my nigga, you needed them? I mean, what's up? And he's like, no, they brought me here. We were supposed to be. I said, dog, you ain't got to make no excuse. Where you want to go with this? You know what I mean? And they sitting there, you know what I mean, laying down, holding their leg on the ground, and I'm looking at them. I said, dude, you bring these dudes out here. I said, you're going to send a nigga to jail, for playing these games. I said, what is this all about? This about Shorty? You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, but, um, you know, but I love her, dog. I said, you love her, dog? He said, yeah, I love her. I said, dog, she didn't even give you none. She didn't even give you no play. He said, yeah, I know, dog, but I love her, dog. I said, you love her, dog? I said, oh, man. That's why I'm back to Atwater, man, because I don't want to get into this, but I love a dog-ass nigga no more. But anyway, so we in Atwater, right? So while we in Atwater, we sitting there and you get caught with a knife, right? You get caught with a knife in Atwater. Now, picture this if y'all ever been in any prison in the state feds or wherever. You get caught with a knife in Atwater, they take you to the lieutenant office, they give you a shot, and they release you back to the compound and tell you, check the call out for when you go to DHO. You get a knife shot, and they send you back to the unit and tell you to check the call out. Where they do that at? Welcome to Atwater. You know what I mean? So now, dudes used to get, so check it out. We used to be in the yard, right? And we had areas that we worked out in. Big shout out to my man, E.R. Me and E.R. used to work out in a little corner over there, in the compound. This was in Coleman, though. But, you see, I'm riding. I'm riding, man. But, you get a little area, and where you work out at that's where you take your little joint. How I told you cut the joint off the fence, and you sit there and you wrap it in a towel and tape it up, and you go out there and you hear that noise? That's how you sanding it on the concrete to make that point pointy enough to go through. You know what I mean? To let a dude know what cold steel feel like when he violates. So everybody is all over the different little concrete areas in the yard sharpening knives. You walk by, you see a dude down there sitting down, he got his hand right next to him, and he going, for the whole hour he out in the yard getting that thing ready. But that's how that was. Then you get caught with it, they put you back on the compound. Then you had the gunners. Y'all don't know what the gunners is. That's why I tell you all the time, man. A gunner is somebody that, at the women, the deviants. Those are the ones they sent to Tucson that I spoke about, where they sent young Casanova. If you get like 5 of those charges, they send you there. But back then in Atwater, you get a gun in charge for masturbating at a female officer, and they don't even give you a shot. They take you to the lieutenant office, put you in a cage, and ask you, did you calm down? Meaning, did your joint go down? You know what I mean? Because you're a little out of control, And be like, yeah, I'm good now, Lou. You know what I mean? And they send you back to the unit. They wound up getting a big lawsuit in Coleman, Florida, because they started doing that in Coleman too. Because when they brought the dudes over, there's no disrespect to them, but let's give them a round of applause to the Louisiana cats that came during the flood. Big shout out to Louisiana. Big shout out to Louisiana. Big shout out to Louisiana. The Louisiana cats that came there, up to the joint. It was like crazy. Because when they came there masturbating at the women, and nobody couldn't understand, why they was doing it. That's the black dudes. Because where did we ever do that at? We didn't do that. You know what I mean? So they came there doing that, and, they'll just send them back to the unit, because if they gave them a shot being they were from Louisiana, it didn't mean nothing because they was on federal compound grounds, and that's the way that was, So it was like real crazy the way they used to treat the gunners like it was nothing. So they put in a lawsuit. The female put in a sexual harassment lawsuit because they said the men was encouraging the inmates to masturbate at them because they never punished them for doing anything, for masturbating and things like that. And they won like $20 million. That's in the kitty that every time somebody filed, a grievance on the prison for allowing an inmate to masturbate at them, they give them a chunk out that $20 million. So if you females want to get some money, yeah, just give you a little idea. You know, go get a correction officer job in the feds, and if somebody masturbate at you, go get a couple of grand out of them also. But that's how it was over there. Now, it was so crazy over in Atwater. It was so crazy that they used to sell oranges on the compound because we make wine. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a whole story on the wine later. I'm going to do a whole story on the wine later. And I'm going to finish this Atwater joint up later because I think I've been up here long enough. I just wanted to really just tap in and give y'all something for the rain because I feel like riding. Right now, my mind all over the place and I want to just ride. And I know these rat bastards and trolls be having an issue with me riding. And, and I can't get my hands on them. So, that's why I'm just going to tap out and tell y'all, cop the book of Rowan Harlem, man. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust down. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend it air. He started in uptown, he gon' finish there. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.